Hello, how are you?
Hello everybody, welcome to Dublin. Great crowd just after arriving here. Big protest against the Irish government. Starting here at the Garden of Remembrance, a sea of Irish flags. Please give this a share wherever you're watching. I'm here with Suzanne Delaney. Busy talking to someone there.
You broke my heart with that speech. Listen. No, the one that I put online.
Yeah, so your video was great.
Okay, we're going to make our way down to the front of the protest here.
Hello, everybody.
Hold it.
Looks like there's a good crowd here today.
There's Malachy Steenson. Andy Quirk, is it? This is the man responsible for bringing all the flags. Fair play to you. Good man yourself. Malachy Steenson.
Stephen.
Speaking today, Malachy.
Yeah.
Good man. Is there a big crowd, have you?
Well, I haven't looked at the back of it yet, but it certainly looks a lot bigger than the last one.
Really?
Which is over 50,000.
Wow, fantastic. Brilliant stuff. Well done. Excellent.
See, tricolours is what makes it.
It's amazing. See you in a while, Malachy.
What's going on? Not a Palestinian flag or LGBTQ flag.
What's that about?
I don't understand what's going on. There's no LGBTQ flag. There's no Palestinian flags here. It's all far right flags. It's disgusting. Move on. The hooligans are here. The fooligans.
But we better get out of here. This is getting dangerous, guys. Couple of the crew from Mayo. Anyone want to talk? No, they're a bit shy. The Mayo folk are a bit shy. There's Stephen Sutton, fantastic Irish musician. He's going to be playing at our festival Misha Era in the end of August. But you're here today, Steve. You're going to sing today for us as well, I believe.
Jeez, hopefully, yeah.
What have you in store? What's the plan?
I'm trying to give our outside of that while you blast down the custard house. Oh yeah, there's an event tomorrow night as well with John Waters on the Hill of Tara. So yeah, if anyone wants to make it to that, should be a very it'll be a lot lower key than this, but it looks it, but it should be good anyway. But yeah, so wish me luck.
Good luck. You don't need it, but good luck. Another man, another face I recognise here. John, you want to tell us why you're here today, John?
Well, I'm here because we need to sort out the fact that there's problems in the country in relation to the gangs that are now coming in from the Islamic world, where it's all right to rape young girls at 14, 15 at school age, take them into their shops, which they've done in Oldham in England and Bradford and all these places. So it's a very serious, concerning position in our country now, what's happening. Because they're covering it up. They're not reporting it. The circular media, the major main media is not reporting anything that's going on. So that's a very serious issue. And eventually you have to protect your family. You have to protect your housing estates. And we will have to have vigilantes watching out on a Thursday, Friday and Saturday night.
Thanks for chatting to us, John.
See you.
Hey, man, how are you?
We only lick it to get to it, Bobby.
Got a lovely far right doggy here.
You chat away there for a minute.
I don't know what to say.
Hey, lads. How are the lads?
How are you?
Fantastic.
Good.
Great crowd here today.
Turnout, yeah, it is a great turnout, I have to say. And the lefties, I don't know where they are. I walked up there earlier, there's none of them. Don't know where they are.
They were at the GPO last time. I think they're
They come up at 1:30.
okay. I think they're meeting somewhere else today.
They're in Dame Street, I think. That's what I heard, yeah.
Paul, you do your own show online. You do your live stream show. Tell us some of the issues that you talk about in your show. What are some of the issues that are concerning people at the moment?
The Muslims coming into the country and flooding the country. We talk about homelessness. We talk about everything, Stephen. Anything that's going on, the abductions going on around the country. I get videos sent in to me and we play them. RTE don't play them, so we play them. And as you do yourself, yourself and Suzanne are doing it all the time and they're doing great work too. But yeah, that's basically all the issues we do. Anything that RTE won't show you, we will show you. So join us tonight, 9 o'clock on the Irish column.
The Irish column.
Irish column tonight.
Man, fair play to you.
We're live on a Tuesday and a Thursday. So thanks very much.
Well done, Paul.
Stephen, thank you.
Councillor Gavin Pepper. The man Gavin. Thank you. So Malachi Steenson mentioned earlier that it looks like it's a bigger crowd than it was last time. We couldn't tell ourselves because we got here late to the last protest and we only joined it at the GPO. So we only saw them coming down. We weren't actually up this end of the street.
Apparently there's about 500 people who are counter-protesting down in O'Connell Street. Oh, hello, thank you. That are going to confront us on O'Connell Bridge, so I'm told.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so we're moving. We're moving.
Slow down.
Okay, so it's been said that there will be some counter-protesters down at O'Connell Bridge here. So let's try and get down there and see what's happening.
There's a great deal of energy here in the crowd. Everybody's in good spirits.
Yeah, and we were worried that it wouldn't be such a big crowd today. I think not sure if Sunday is necessarily the best day to have one of these protests. I know some people are of the opinion that they shouldn't be at the weekends at all. They should be during the week, when maybe it'll be more visual and maybe cause a little bit more obstruction around the city. But a Sunday, I think, is a difficult one for people traveling from other parts of the country, you know, just with public transport. But looks like there's a good crowd. Let's have a look around here again. Now,
Big up the Irish Inquirer. Show. Watch it on YouTube, buddy. Keep it up.
thank you very much. Lots of lovely people here today.
That was lovely. Get them all out. How's Stephen? Hey, Suzanne. Do you know, I follow you religiously. Do you know, you're amazing, really and truly. You should definitely be a politician. No disrespect to yourself, Stephen, but you, I swear to God, you know, every coffin spit, all the nuts and bolts, you have everything covered. Because it's not only about immigration, it's about a ton of things. It's like the sexual indoctrination of our children in the schools, the jabs, the COVID jabs, it's all fake. There's no such thing as climate change. It's a money-making racket. There are so many tentacles attached to and so many octopuses coming out of Doyle Arden with so many tentacles, and they're all doing different things that the people are actually confused. And if the day ever comes that people can't tell the truth from the lies, we're absolutely banjacks. We just have to keep a clear head and know what is right, what is wrong, what is moral, what's immoral. We all know that. Do you know what I mean? And but I love, like, there's so many issues that are really, really messing my head up. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I get really, really depressed and everything. Do you know what I mean? I've contemplated taking my life in there. Like, I've only less than a year left to live, and I had them up in the High Court. Had the government in Ireland, had them all up in the High Court over Crown Paints. And I funded the whole thing. Sorry? Oh, without a doubt. 110%. But you know what? It really is lovely to meet you.
Jesus Christ is King.
You know what? I can tell you stories about Father John Sullivan and how I was blessed with a cross and everything else. I tell you, but that's another day for another story.
Sorry.
You're doing awesome work, kiddo.
Look, Velvet.
Tigers and all coming out today.
Far right dogs and far right cats here today.
Oh, he's a tiger cat. He's a transformer, a transgender in disguise, mate. Anything else is hate speech. Racist or bigot, you can call all the lefty names. He's a tiger. Have a lovely day.
You.
Help the Irish on the wall! All for the Irish!
How you doing? You do great work. Huh?
Who's free? Who's free? Who's free?
seen a video on you.
Rory, good to see you again. How are you?
And you, Stephen. Yeah, thanks for coming along again. And fabulous turnout by the concerned men, women, and children of Dublin. And it's just wonderful to see peaceful protests. We're going to get ignored again. So I really believe we need to up the game. We need to shut down Dublin. We need to shut down the country. And it has to happen, and it has to happen soon. Now, unfortunately, we're going to go up the road and we're going to witness extreme hatred from the left outside the GPO. Now, I'm shocked to see Ruth Coppinger using clearly mentally ill people for political gain. It's shocking. These people need help, and I pray for them today that they get the help they need. But yeah, what a turnout, and thanks for coming. The movement is snowballing. I've met people here that I haven't seen for years that had no political aspirations for anything. Taxi drivers, even got the Pigeonman out this time. Pigeonman there from Coolock, and he's been protesting the Coolock all the time. But a lot of Pigeonmen here today. They raced yesterday, but we'll allow them for that. And yeah, just a wonderful turnout. My son is there beside me. He's never been at a protest in his life, but he's had enough. And yeah, I wasn't expecting to see you catching me to speak again, but here we are. We need to get the movement bigger. We need to shut it down. We've no government, we've no media, other than yourselves and Irish Inquiry, Philip O'Dwyer, and the likes of that. Mainstream media are non-existent. They're telling lies. We also need to deal. There's people all around me sick with cancer, and I want to know why. There's a road beside me with 6 children with autism on it. I want to know why there's 6 children on a small road in North Dublin with autism. Where is it coming from? I suspect vaccines, but I'm not a doctor, so we need other people to jump on board and tell us about that. But yeah, fabulous turnout. The movement is growing, and it's growing by the day. 99% of the people, I think, no, this country is full of migrants that have come through safe countries. Now, I'm not racist, but if you came through a safe country, you should have stopped off there. They're here for money and nothing else. The homelessness in this town and the hospital crisis, it's atrocious, and it's getting worse by the day. Beaumont Hospital, the staff up there will tell you, is now not a safe place to go. If your hospitals aren't safe, your schools aren't safe, and we'll beg parents to confront teachers that are teaching this nonsense and this woke nonsense that's dying out. It's dying slowly. I haven't seen a pride flag all week, and that's been honest with you. So that movement is dying out, but I would love to see parents confronting the teachers. But if they go to the homes, go and tell them, stop teaching this crap to our kids, and go to the politicians' homes and confront them. That's what needs to be done. They're laughing out the door, drinking their lattes. Protests outside the door is no good. I learned that as a taxi driver, and there's a lot of taxi drivers that I protested with on this street. Right here, is this the rank, the Gresham rank? Yeah, protested here. Zip 2 sold us out. They told us they'd lose the government in the long grass. Someone must have cut the grass because they fucking shafted us, and that's what they done. So I learned then anyway the corruption of the government and the media. So yeah, things have changed, Stephen, and great to see you. We're going to move on, okay, and give someone else a chance.
Great talking to you, Rory. Fair play. Take care of yourself. All the best. Bye, folks.
See you later,
Take
Stephen.
care. Hi, folks. How are you? How you doing? How are you? How you doing, man? Oh, we've the men from the west are here, and Dr. Jerry Waters has just jumped the queue, though, as he tends to do. Of course you can. Selfie request here.
This is the problem, Stephen. You're so much.
Very quickly, Jerry, we have to run now because I think we're going to be speaking on the stage in a little while, so we need to make it up the front. So tell us again why you're here today, Jerry.
Well, yet again,
come around this side so we can see this crowd.
Yeah. Yet again, I'm here to support the people of Ireland against the government that continues to lie at every hand's turn. It's a great turnout, and I'm very, very proud to be here with the people of Ireland. It's great. It's a great opportunity to get out and meet people. There's so many good friends here.
Well done, Jerry. Now, I have a man here I want to talk. He's all the way up from Castlebar, and every time he speaks on camera, what he says goes viral. So we have to have a quick word with Tom Moran. Tom, Good to see you. Come on in here. Let me see the crowd in the background when we're chatting. How are you? You're up from Castlebar today?
I'm here from the far west, as they say today. I'm delighted to be here in the great capital city of Dublin. It's wonderful to see the turnout and the devotion of these people, our people. And I cannot see that we can be beaten by any government. I think it was James Fintelauner who said, "It would be a tragedy indeed," he said, "if you got rid of a foreign tyrant and replaced that tyrant with an even more repressive domestic tyrant." And that is exactly what we have here, a totalitarian state with an attitude towards the people like the penal laws. They're trying to punish the Irish people, denying them their right. But we will be vindicated, and our numbers are growing, and we're not going away.
Tom, very well done. Fair play. Good to see you again, Tom. Now, we're going to have to make our way to the front of this protest again. Suzanne, isn't he? Okay, so we've got to the end of the protest. I'm not sure if it is as big as the last one. It is big. So we need to get to the front of the queue again here. Myself and Suzanne, I think, are going to be speaking on the stage, so we need to make our way to the front. Suzanne, we just saw the end of the protest there. I'm not 100% sure if it is bigger than the last time. I've just a feeling from last time they were travelling down O'Connell Street for a lot longer. So I'm not. It is big for sure. It's hard to tell the numbers.
It's just very interesting coming in there. We parked up around Parnell Square, and that you wouldn't recognise the streets around the Garden of Remembrance anymore. If you hadn't been here in a few years, you would be absolutely shocked and horrified. It's just not Irish anymore. The most quintessentially Irish places are not Irish anymore. And it's very strange to see all of those people in the streets surrounding the protest and then see a sea of Irish flags. We were in Dorset Street recently and Moore Street, and it was shocking. Dorset Street is now only 7% Irish, and the inner city itself, the north inner city, is 36% white Irish. That's how many people identified as white Irish in the census.
You always hear the shouts of Sinn Féin traitors. I can hear some people shouting it there. So we're approaching the GPO now. As you can see, unlike the last protest a couple of weeks ago, there are no protesters, no counter-protesters outside the GPO. So let's see where they are.
They're meant to be down on O'Connell Bridge, where they're supposedly going to confront us.
Watch.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I'm very, very sorry. Sorry, I just bumped into someone there. As I said before, this is not about hating anyone. It's about loving your country. And I think a lot of people have seen their Irish identity as something intangible and maybe to be taken for granted a little bit. Up until a few years ago, it was totally acceptable to say, I'm Irish and I'm proud. But they're trying to take that away now. And people are starting to feel that. They're starting to see. I've spoken to people during the week who a year ago wouldn't have entertained a protest or even a conversation about immigration. And now they say they see a problem They don't like being called mongrels. That's one thing that people express to me. They don't like the tricolour being referred to as a sign of racism. And we have also seen, aside from News Talk, the now deceased radio presenter Michael Reid on LMFM saying that the Irish flag reminded him of the Nazi flag in 1930s Germany. And we had Ruth Coppinger's colleague, Matt Wayne, who used to be a councillor, saying that he wanted to see the Irish flag removed from outside of all public buildings. And then he would rather see the red flag flown, and that the tricolour was offensive to foreigners.
Okay, I think we're getting to the front again. This is where the counter-protests are supposedly today going to be on O'Connell Bridge. Let's have a look.
Oh. Get a picture of all the people who died from the vaccine, the footballers. Here we have somebody, Waco Beara, have put up pictures of people who have died after the COVID vaccine, including Roy Butler, who is only 23 years old. After Roy Butler died and his family were putting up posts, his auntie put up a post. These posts were being censored by Facebook, and there was labels put on the post to say that the COVID vaccine was safe. And most people who are listening to this will probably know that these agendas are connected. The open borders agenda, the jabs, age 12, Phoebe Smith, age 12.
Okay, we're going to try and get through this crowd. Sorry. Say it loud and say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. That's the chant you can hear from the radical leftists. The question being, how many are welcome here? Have we not welcomed enough? You ask them that question, how many is too many? No answer. Let's try and have a look at this freak show. Okay there, folks. That's what the anti-Irish counter-protesters look like. They have the odd Irish flag, mostly people before profit flags. What else have we got? Palestinian flags, of course. Yeah. Okay, we'll move on.
You're all going to
There's our friend Philip Dwyer doing his thing. Good man. Man Phil. Another alternative media platform here, Ken Donnelly. Good man, Ken.
How you doing, bud?
How you doing? Fair play. Hello there.
How are you?
Tell us what you're doing at the protest here today. What are you protesting against?
I'm protesting against this government that are a shambles. You know, the Irish people are being left behind, are being forgotten about. Okay, people need help, but our own need help first. Help your own country. There's other countries all over the world who look after their own people first. That's all we're asking for, our own people to be looked after first. And if there's anything left in the kitty, look after others. But it's the Irish first, and they need to start looking after us now.
I agree completely. And that seems to be the view of many people here today. Look after who we have here first. Got a taxi home in Dublin a couple of months ago. It was a Romanian taxi driver, and we were chatting about the immigration situation. And he was in agreement with us. He was like, you don't invite your neighbours over for breakfast if you've got nothing in the fridge. That's what they were his words. But that's the point. We don't have enough to look after who we have here at the moment. Life is very difficult for people. And we just don't have the services. We don't have the resources. It's just... Now, do you have a message for the Irish government?
The message for the Irish government is, right, all their lies and their social engineering is going to come to an end soon. When we reach critical mass and Irish people lose their fear, the truth will come out, and those government, the lies, the blatant lies and corruption that they're all guilty of, they will suffer. Justice will come for the Irish government for what they've done to this country. They think they've got away with it. They've all the financial resources. In the long run, the truth will come out. The truth will come out, and the Irish government will be held accountable for destroying this country.
Thank you very much. Now we need to make our way to the front here, Suzanne.
1, 2, 1, 2. That's a great selfie from this week.
Maybe they're not here yet.
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Check 1, 2. You hear me? 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Check 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Test 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Brilliant, yes.
1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Go and check.
1, 2, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, folks.
1, 2, 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Why is just mute you live?
And all the stewards come up to the front. All the yellow blazers, all the stewards up to the front.
Okay, the stage is in a different area today.
People still coming from the back.
Go around the corner. I'd be for that. Yeah, exactly.
So you can see they've got a big screen today, and they've got a different stage, and they've got a much better PA system as well, which is great. Come on, babe.
How are you?
Just video you?
No, no, just wait. Just read what I'm going to say.
Should I chat to you, Steve?
Well, you can chat to me, Keith, but I wanted you to do a bit of work and go and chat yourself.
I am the second person today being asked to do cameraman, which I don't mind, actually. It's not too bad. It gives me a good view of the crowd from this angle, you know.
You have a good steady hand.
Not too bad. How's the audio there, folks? Let us know if this audio is good. Look at that there. There's almost 1,600 people in that live stream.
So we're streaming live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We should
Nice.
be.
Yeah.
So we can't actually tell how many is watching on each platform. So if you're on one of those platforms, if you can see how many is watching live, maybe just let us know how many people is watching live on X, and Facebook, and on YouTube.
And Stephen, what would you say about the numbers today? Because to me, this looks like it's the biggest. What'd you say?
It's very hard for me to say because when we arrived at the last protest, we actually arrived a little bit late, and we just we arrived at the GPO just as the crowd was beginning to come down. So we didn't see it gathering at the Garden of Remembrance. What I will say is the last time around, it did seem that it took a lot longer to walk down O'Connell Street. Now, I could be wrong in that, I'm not sure, but look, it's not far off. It's a massive crowd.
Well, anyway, the thing is that my takeaway from walking down O'Connell Street is this. We were counter-protested on O'Connell Bridge, and they were absolutely dwarfed for the second time in Dublin. So that shows you the shift in the popularity in this movement. It's exponential at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you have a look at the crowd that gathered? Did you the anti-Irish counter protest?
There was probably 300-400 max there at that crowd, and I would say here today we're talking about tens of thousands, and that's just like a fact of reality. It's very hard to gauge because we're looking through a sea of Irish flags, so we can't actually see the back of the crowd at all.
Yeah.
But they are still coming, like that's a fact. So by all means, it has to be in the tens of thousands.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there are definitely tens of thousands here. I do have a drone, but I'm afraid the weather conditions are not suitable to put the drone up. It's a bit windy. It's a little bit wet as well. So that's a pity. I'd love to have an overhead view.
And actually, Joe, let's talk about the. I would say the improvement and the professionalism of the setup here, because we have a big, massive screen here. We've got a stage, and then we've got multiple speakers going right back down the Custom House Quay, and it just shows you things are being ramped up a notch or two here. Like you can tell that this is going somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, but especially that has been an issue with the last couple of protests here. The sound system. really, it could only a couple of hundred people could hear at any one time, you know. But they've really gone to town here. You can see through all the Irish flags. They've got the big screen here. I don't know if you showed off the big screen.
Yeah, no, this is the rear of the screen, so it's massive. Like, I don't know if this shot gives any justice, but like, you can pretty much see this screen all the way down at the bridge onto the Custom House Quay. But like, the numbers, look at the amount of flags. Like, Andy Quirk, I was there to see it myself. Andy brought 1,000 Irish flags today, and we're handing them out into the crowd.
Wow, fantastic! Yeah,
and I was talking to his mother, who helped him with it, and she told me it took roughly 2 weeks to prep them all.
Wow, absolutely fair play, like, you know. And I think initially might have tried to go fund that, did a GoFundMe for those, but then stopped that. So he's paid for these. Most of these he's paid for these himself.
Yeah, like, and you know, you're just seeing everything is just converging on the right direction. You know what I mean? We're all coming together. And it's all different types of people, all different types of backgrounds, with all different types of skill to offer here. And to see everybody, it just feels so organic, doesn't it? Like, it doesn't feel like it's contrived at all.
No, absolutely not. And I mean, whatever town or village or city you're in around the country, whoever you're talking to, if you're talking to them privately in their own home or in private conversation, everybody is saying the same thing. Yeah. Nobody's happy. Not everybody might be here. Although in saying that, the last protest we were at here, that we met a huge amount of people who were at their first protest. Some of which had come from the UK. Yeah. Someone had come from Canada. They wanted to come back here. The Irish people wanted to come back here. Yeah. Excuse me for a second.
Yeah, no, do your thing. Yeah, anyways, Stephen's going to be back in a second. But the numbers are absolutely enormous, folks. So just let me give you a bit of an angle here. I'll try get to the edge just to give you an understanding. I don't know if that'll help. I don't think it does. But the numbers are absolutely enormous. And just in my personal view, I think this is the biggest protest this movement has ever had at this stage. And to see it from its infancy, where you're talking about 50 people, 100, 200 people at these protests, then into the thousands. And now we are ramping it up a notch or two, and we're in the tens of thousands. Like, it's unstoppable. And there's no way the government can pretend that this isn't an issue anymore. It's the front and foremost thought on everybody's head in Ireland is this immigration issue, and it's undeniable at this stage. But I'll just see if anybody else wants to jump in and have a word. Just give me a second or two and I'll find somebody.
Front of it, you know.
Do you want to say a few words, Val?
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a great day. It's a great day to be Irish, and what a turnout. And yeah, I'm proud of all the people that turned up today.
Brilliant stuff. 1 second. All right, great stuff from Val. How's it going? I'm sure you all know who Val is. She does a lot of live content and video recording. Let me see who else is around. I'm going to see if Maliki will come speak to us when he's done with Rebel News. Just 1 second. Keep sharing the space, folks. There's been 200 more people have tuned in, so keep sharing it and boost the numbers for Stephen. I'm just momentarily looking after this for him while he takes a bit of a break and he gets to chat with some people. So please do share, and I'll try get Maliki on the microphone in a second. Folks, I can't tell you about the energy that's here and the numbers. It is absolutely incredible. And I don't know if this angle does any justice, but just look. The protests used to happen on the steps, but just look at the numbers and the flags. I mean, there's thousands upon thousands of Irish flags. It's incredible to witness this. We're doing well. I'm going to try get Maliki on the mic when he's done after this, so I'll come back to you.
Yeah, don't bother coming back to me. Is that turned on? Yeah.
Beautiful. Let's see what happens. Callum. This is Callum Smiles, who's from Vox Populi, alternative media. You've been covering the Irish protest for quite some time. Give me your thoughts on today and the energy that's here at this protest.
This is by far the biggest I've seen, and I said that exact same thing only 2 weeks ago in Cork. Cork was massive, Cork was huge, but this dwarfs what was going on there. And the most interesting thing actually I've seen today is that there's so many retirees out in their numbers, like the sort of people that RTE would never dream of calling far-right Nazis. Normal, everyday folk who, nearly everyone here shares the exact same thing. They're sick and tired of their government gaslighting them, and their country be sold out to anyone but the Irish.
Yep. And that's what here's Maliki coming to me now, so do you want to stick around and we have a word or two? Maliki Steenson, I'm here for the Irish Inquiry. Stephen's off prepping for his speech. I just thought, just a question. Incredible scenery here, incredible numbers. From its infancy to this moment, how are you feeling about the movement?
I think it's fabulous, and I think when we go back to November 2022 and this started, about 200 people in East Wall, and you look at the numbers now, and the amount of protests right around the country. Every day of the week since the 26th of April, I think there has been a protest somewhere, small, bigger, Cork, Limerick, Galway, I think is the next big one. And it's huge, and it shows the will of the people. And when we took back the tricolour from the state a number of months ago, and we're actually at that about 2 years now, and encouraging people to put them up in their houses over last Easter, look at it now. And look at the reaction from the Liberal left, who are incensed. We even have Sinn Féin now in Bodenstown and today. And they put out a video yesterday where they just robbed Andy Quick's video effectively and put somebody else in it.
Yeah, they literally stole his idea wholesale and pretended that nobody would notice that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the first thing people noticed. And you know, they're down there at the grave of Wolfe Tone today, and Wolfe Tone's first connection, our first statement was to break the connection with England, the unity of Catholic and Protestant and dissenter in the common name of Irishmen. And primarily to that goal was to break the connection with England. And there we have those who are in the pay of the British government, administering British rule in Ireland. Her Majesty's First Minister in the 6 counties is giving the oration, you know, totally insulting everything that Wolfe Tone stood for. You know,
and you know, Malachy, here's another thing as well. Like when people saw these interviews, or well, with yourself and the protests, 50, 200, 500, we broke into the thousands then. We're now into the tens of thousands. And there's a feel like the boulder's been pushed to the top of the mountain and now it's a free for all going down.
Now, I mean, we're getting it slowly. Although when you look in terms of political movements right throughout Europe, this is only 2.5 years old, this movement, and it's grown at a far greater rate. Now, some people are impatient, you know, but we have a very clear strategy and we're delivering on that strategy, you know. And each rally and each protest is a learning experience for not just for the organisers and for us, but for the people who come and participate in it, you know.
Look, for me, like I've been tracking these protests for many years, and it felt like we hit a plateau for a certain amount of time where there wasn't really an improvement, but then all of a sudden something happened and boom, the movement exploded. And it's like, I just don't see how the Irish government can reverse their way out of this problem. And what do you think is going to happen, like overall?
I don't think this government will last its full term. I think that there are a lot of issues coming to the fore, and I think the cabinet and the two, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, are fighting amongst themselves. Fianna Fáil can read the room and want to pull back. Fine Gael, it's just keep giving our people the money. You know?
Well, Malachy, thanks very much for your time. Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much. Absolutely fantastic, folks. And there you go. There was Malachy Steenson. Literally, I would say one of the people that started what we see here. Obviously, there's a collective effort, but Malachy has been there. Sounding the alarm bells, if you want to call it that. But just look at this scenery here. It's incredible. I can't even see the back of the crowd because there's so many flags flying. And yeah, absolutely spectacular. But if you would like to give a share to this live stream, folks, I'd really appreciate it. I'm just taking him over for Stephen in the meantime, because he's prepping for his speech that he's going to deliver today on this stage here. And I said I'd do him the honors and just take over for a little while. So I hope I'm doing a good job and I'm doing Stephen a bit of justice here. But do have some patience with me. I'll just try to get a couple of words off some of the folks that are standing around. So I'm just going to put this mic down for a second. I'll leave the audio on, and you'll be able to hear the crowd in the background. Yeah. So what we're doing now is Stephen is sending up the drone, and we're going to be able to see the size, the enormity of this crowd. And I do believe it's in the tens of thousands just from the feel. Stephen, the energy is incredible here, isn't it? Like,
great, absolutely great buzz. Yeah, people are in great form. I'm delighted because I just thought, people might have been out on a Saturday night and mightn't have bothered showing up for various reasons. Coming from different parts of the country, it's hard with public transport on a Sunday. But there's a great crowd. Everyone is really up for it. So we're going to get a look at the numbers now, hopefully.
Now, that drone, can you brighten that screen? Is that possible?
I'm not sure. Let's get it up in the air first.
Yeah. All right, so here it goes. Stephen's going to send the drone up. We're going to get a good idea of how many people are here today. So away she goes. There she is there. Let's come back down to you here, Stephen. So I don't know if I can see much there, but wow, look at that. That is incredible. Let me just get right up on that one. Sorry. I don't know if that's coming across well to the people that are viewing this live stream. Let us know, folks. Can you see that screen there for the drone? Watching live? No.
Just all the way down to the bridge.
Right, so folks, I'll describe what I'm looking at. So we're going right from this current position where we are, and it's going right down to the bridge to the custom house. So we're looking at, what would you say, tens of thousands of people there. Like, I couldn't give you a number on that there, but it's definitely in the tens of thousands. 30,000. I think this is the biggest one. But also, you got to remember, Stephen, like the there it is, she's coming in now. I would say estimate it'd be between 30 to 50,000, but definitely feels like this is the largest one. And this is We Mean Business one. Like, you can see it's ramped up a notch with the professionalism of the screen there and the audio system and all that stuff. Let me ask Michael Murphy a question. 1 second there.
So I'm still like getting a
Yeah, do your thing, no problem. Yeah, sure. There you go. There's Paddy Quinlan there from the National Party. Michael Murphy is there as well, along with Grip Media. Let's go.
Come on, back on down. Yeah, look, it's amazing to see everybody here. It's not easy to come out and to do this. I think
Rob Steenson speaking now.
2 days off, or 1 day off in some cases. I think people are the one that want to affect these protests having. I mean, we can see in front of me thousands and thousands of Irish people who just want Ireland to be normal again and continue to come out and show not only that they're pissed off at the government, but they also come out to celebrate Ireland, which is what today is. It's not just a protest, it's a celebration of being Irish. And that's something that most people don't get to experience anymore. You're not allowed to be proud to be Irish anymore. But you are today. With that said, I'm going to introduce someone who's going to sing a song for us. Stefan Sucho. He's going to sing Oro Sheva.
Stephen Sons now going to sing a song.
Hey, Victoria. Big Elum in the forepass. The chorus, the Kayla. Oh, those Kayla. Oh, Thanks very much, Stephen, for that. And with that, I'm going to announce or welcome the fourth speaker to the stage, the great Penny woman, Michelle Dean.
Calling on every citizen to rise to one purpose, an Ireland free, an Ireland independent, and an Ireland no longer ruled by Brussels or by any Irish together. Here we stand at the Custom House against HC's very soul of our Irish existence, a place where the fight for our freedom was never surrendered. But before this, we gathered at the Gardens of the Monuments, a sacred space, a hallowed ground. This garden is no ordinary place. It is a beating heart of all Irish history. Every song, every whisper in the wind carries the story of those who gave everything. Men and women who preached the great Ireland and explained the ultimate right. Do we remember Robert Glenn, who was the real free, who risked everything for Ireland's freedom? They may bury the man, but they will never bury his fire. His fight is now our fight. His Ireland is now in our hands. It is here on the streets of Dublin, the architects of our proclamation, the visionaries who dare to declare the Irish nation is sovereign and indefeasible. Patrick Pearse stood at the GPO, voice steady, heart ablaze, leading those in after work not as a mere statement, but as a call to each and every one of us to claim our birthright. But long before Pierce's rifle rang out and our voice echoed, a voice louder than gunfire, the voice of Judicial O'Connor, the Liberator. Born in Carrick in County Kerry, a man who believed in peaceful protest, in the power of people's will, O'Connell taught us liberty is not only won by the sword, but the steadfast belief in justice. He said, my object is to achieve the liberty of my country, and to do so lawfully means. He warned us, the altar of liberty's tortures, when it's cemented only with blood and not with the heartbeat devotion of all our people. And he reminded us, the people's rights are paramount, and the people's will must be obeyed. Justice delayed is justice denied. I wonder what Padraig Pearse and Daniel O'Connell would think about traitors Micheál Martin and Simon Harris. So the fight continues today, and so we're here 109 years on from the Easter Rising. But today we do not fight the British. We fight a failed Irish cobbled together government. A government cobbled together without vision, without honour. A government that no longer listens. A government that turns its back on its own people, north and south, Catholic and Protestant. But now, those people are all united here today, united by a shared cause. We have enough. We have enough of iPad centres tearing our families apart, enough of unspeakable horrors inflicted on our children, enough of a failed system that turns its face away while our people suffer. The people of Coolock said no. Now the people of City West rise to say no. No. It is Coolock today. Tomorrow it could be Cork. It could be Coleraine. It could be anywhere. This is not just a protest. This is a movement, a stand by ordinary people who refuse to be silent. We will not be ignored. How can we speak of justice in this country when corruption poisoned the roots of our nation? Thousands of unvetted men brought into our country, no background checks, no safeguards, some even recruited into Garda Síochána, the very force sworn to protect us. How can we feel safe when those who should uphold the law turn a blind eye? Judges like Martin Nolan, who let paedophiles and rapists walk free. Judges like Sinead Beanion in Cork, who not only leave Irish women and children homeless, but also operate within a shadow banking system, helping wealthy husbands hide assets and pensions from their ex-wives and their children. A secret network where money vanishes, where women and children are robbed, not by chance, but by design. Judge James O'Donoghue, who was convicted for failing to provide a sample of breast at the request of a Gardaí, Jane B., a mother of 2 children, unlawfully in Limerick prison a week before Christmas for 4 days. Last week, Justice Emily Egan, who I believe has now colluded with the Irish government to destroy vital evidence in election rigging. Misconduct that should be shamed, but here it brings promotion. Where is the justice? If this was any other country in the world, these judges would be impeached. This is our country. This is our republic. We live in a time of deep sorrow, of horrific fear. Thousands of people have died. Excess deaths pushed aside. COVID vaccines and many other vaccine scandals getting up. Questions left unanswered. Families shattered. Reading without truth, without closure. And when our people suffer, 16,000 Irish homeless wander our streets every day. We are pushed to the margins, to the pin of our collar. When homes are handed out to illegal migrants by our county councils and government, healthcare slips away, basic rights vanish before our eyes. We are at breaking point, folks. The the rise of abortion spirals, lives lost ever before they begin, and the fires of old conflicts flicker dangerously close. We remember Ballymena, we remember the riots, the pain, the young girl who was brutally raped and whose life was torn apart. But even then, in that darkness, the 32 counties stood together. What today if we rise? Not as factions, not as parties for the Irish peoples, united by love for this island. These politicians were all selected, not elected. Some days are just days, but this day, a day that history will remember, because we refuse to sit on the silence. We, the Irish people, are you ready to stand up for your country? Are you ready to fight for your children? Are you Protestants, Catholics, North and South of the border ready to be one? Yeah! For a minimum, shut the air off! Shut the air
Thanks very much, Michelle. And next speaker is Eric English from Waterford Says No.
All right, lads. Oh, what a beautiful sight looking at our two beautiful people. I tell you, you talk about white Irish privilege. That's a fact. But I'm not going to take too much of your time here, lads. I might be able to send a message, and that message is action. So, we come here to these protests. We have thousands of people, and we walk away from these protests and we say, what happens next? That's not up to the people up here speaking. That's up to every one of us standing out there. When we get home, we don't put our feet up on the chair. We don't sit back and relax. We get to work. You identify your civil servants. You identify your money men, not just your politicians. You identify your next door neighbour. You identify the NGOs. You identify all of those traders. And you shun them in your communities. You turn up outside their doors, outside their offices, and you don't move. Because the simple fact here is that the power of the people in here is the will of the Irish. And we know for a fact the will of the Irish will never be broken. It has never been broken before, and it will never be broken in the future. So my message here is get ready for the future. Because the fight has not started, it's already begun. And we're in the middle of it. So mount up, get involved in communities, and start getting out there and bringing the fight to them. Don't sit on your backside waiting for others. Get up, be your own leader. A few more things to say. We need to look back in time here, not just into the future. And we need to look back at the mass genocide that was attempted on our people through death jabs. There's plenty of people that are willing to speak about it, and we need to hear those people. What we also need, we need action from the people behind that. So we need to go and we need to follow the likes of Patrick McGreal, the likes of Barry from Wake Up There, and anybody that's bringing a challenge on this. Because we don't forget. We do not forget, and we will always go back and these people will be pulled out. And as for the future, we are the holders of our own destiny, lads. So as bad as they are destroying our country, it is up to each and every one of us to stand up and make that barrier in front of him and tell him, he ain't doing it. Because I die here before I leave, he walk over me, and that's a fact. Last two things, they're not about protesting. It's about two men. One of them celebrates his birthday today, one celebrates next week. So I want you all to give them all a round of applause. I wish him a happy birthday. That's Clive Dempsey and Fergus Power. And I'll leave you with this, lads. This country has never been broken. People might have laid down and let themselves be walked all over. But if you go look back even pre-1916, we've Irish men and women that stood up strong and never faltered. And we're now following that lineage. So it's up to us to make that fight even stronger and win. Aaron the Brand, shut the I nearly forgot, lads. I nearly forgot. So the 26th of July in Waterford, we'd like to see you all there. We're bringing it to Waterford. And let's bring it down. Let's bring it down to Wokeford into lefty haven, and let's bring it to them and show them that we ain't stopping. This just ain't been about Dublin, it's not about Limerick, it's not about Clonmel, not about, it's about Ireland. Yeah, no reason. The next speaker, I'm sure you all know her from TikTok, is Maggie Stapleton. Let's give her a round of applause.
Dear brave Conduct, and up there, the blessings of God unto each and every one of you. And I just want to say a big good meal to the organisers by giving me a chance to speak the love of my country and the heritage that runs through each and every one of our veins, the blood of the true Gaels of Ireland. And this is a message to the traitors and news talk. Do you see their flags? They represent us. That represents freedom, and that represents the love of the island of Ireland. So put down your pipe and smoke it. I feel so proud and humbled to stand here before each and every one of you, to be proud to be a true native Irish woman. Not everybody is blessed to say that. We're so indigenous to the islands of Ireland that our roots run so deep, like the rivers across Ireland. We are so indigenous that we are nearly touching at the Creator's feet. Our lineage is so strong that we can go back from the stories from our mothers and our mothers' mothers, and that's what the serpents hate. They want to take away everything that's true and indigenous to this land. They're bringing in people into this country that have no affiliation, nothing. And they're leaving our people on the sides of the roads, begging for what's truly theirs. It's in the Bunrack Nahiran to house and to help the poor people of society. And our people are left begging all the time when people come into this country and they get everything handed to them. When the true Gaels get into the door, all of that is going to stop. We're going to clean up shop. We're going to look after their children and let them know that this country belongs to them. And the stories will continue. That their mothers told us and their mothers before them. When our brothers and sisters stood on these streets that we're standing on and fought against the British Empire, they didn't stand with a pint in their hand and a firearm. They stood with a firearm and the rosary bead for the love of God and country. Without God, there's no healing. The Irish people need to get back to their faith. The sure faith, we are going to take their islands back. They're taking God out of the schools. They're taking the Lord out of the hospitals. Where the Lord is most needed. Where the sick and vulnerable people need the Lord the most. And while they're taking God out of the country, they're bringing people in here that are worshiping the false God. The Irish people need to get back to the basics. They need to get back to God and country, community.
Family.
That's why we do need to stick together. But you can see how the movement is going there. You can all see that we are being invaded and the regime are giving the backing of it. But as I said, when the true Irish people get into the door, that is all going to stop. Edinburgh! It's Hallelujah! Jesus is King!
Now, the next speaker is Patrick Quinlan, if he can make his way to the stage.
What is happening to this city? Absolutely love it! Electric! My friends, my family, my people. We're not just a crowd gathered here today. We are the sons and we are the daughters of Ireland. We have inherited a legacy that has been carved from the emerald earth beneath your feet and has been written in the stars of our people's dreams. Look around you. Every face, every heart carries the same unbreakable thread. Our past, our struggles, our triumphs, they bind us, not as strangers, but as a family grown large that Pierce talked about. It's run through our veins. It's a river of memory that no storm can wash away. And today, the Irish people here, we stand as one, ready to write the next chapter of our people's story. Think of those who came before us. They toiled under unrelenting sun and storms. They built homes with callous hands, and they stood tall against every toil that sought to break them. 620,000 were massacred by Cromwell's blades. Millions more of our people were scattered to the four corners of the world. Our language, our culture, our very soul has been pushed to the brink time and time again. And yet, we are still here and we are still Irish. But today, the war has changed. We face a new battle. It's not with swords and it's not with bullets, but it's with ideas. Micheál Martin and the Serpents in Dáil Éireann are following in the footsteps of their English predecessors. They're telling us that anyone can be Irish. But when everyone's Irish, no one's Irish. The very idea of a sovereign Gaelic state and the death of it is what they want. What do we want? Freedom! They're ashamed to be born Irish. They're spitting on a cultural inheritance that we've inherited over the course of thousands of years. They tell us that we have no right to be proud of our roots, our story, or our blood. But I'm telling you, the only thing worse than being born Irish is not being born Irish. Look at the priorities. €450 million in 3 months so far this year that after thrown into iPads. It's a black hole that's misappropriating our resources that we're working hard, because it's not their money, it's ours. That money could have built 1,300 homes for our people. It could have been used to hire 340 doctors or 690 teachers and pay them for a decade. I ask you, what do you want? Do you want an iPass system that's hollowing out our nation? Or do you want homes, doctors and teachers for our people? The choice is yours. And out in Mount View, bringing it back to the home patch, you Blanche. They're building a supposed family home. We don't need homes that are going to be filled with foreign nationals. We need homes. We need front and back gardens. We need secure spaces for our children to grow. And it's not just for people on the social housing list either, I'd like to remind them of. It's for families that are being trapped in perpetual debt, where the bankers are holding all the cards and they can throw you out if you fall on hard times. In response to their Human Blanche, we're after launching a petition. In the space of 3 days, we're after getting over 1,000 signatures. The people are waking up and are saying no to the government's disastrous policy. Ganesh, but while I'm a kite, A2. Where's A2 in this fight? They're nowhere. They're refusing to stand with the Irish people. In figure, they're voting us down when we're asking the hard questions on immigration. They'd rather stand with baby-killing, nation-wrecking communists than us. And if it makes them uncomfortable that we won't fail, then so be it. The National Party will be your voice. The National Party will be your fire. Your unbreakable will. Our history is not a chain, it's a torch. It's lighting our path to a future we'll build together. A future where every Irish child, every dreamer, every soul who carries our story can rise. Where our homes are ours, where our culture is cherished, where our sovereignty is sacred. We're making history here today, folks. Not as individuals, but as a people. The National Party's constantly running candidate workshops. We have new voices that are stepping forward, new representatives. Jordan delivered a savage speech in court. We're going door to door. We're constantly waking the Irish people up. I have a question for all you in the crowd today. Which side will you stand on? What will you be remembered for? The hour's now. Rise for Ireland. Let our voices echo like the cliffs of Mohawk. Call them back our unyielding spirit. Let our unity blaze like the heart's golden strings, shattering every lie that dares to try and cage our people. Join the National Party. Not for me, not for the party, but for us, for our people, our future, our home. Together, we will forge an Ireland where our children stand free, proud and unbroken, where they will not just survive, but thrive. History's watching. Are you going to be the hero? Are you going to be the hero? Yes, please.
Next speaker is a woman who spoke in Cork a couple of weeks ago, and Ardee, and a couple of days later, Kira D. Money.
It's called Wesley. I know where it is. I can't see it.
Right, what a crowd! Is there any news talk journalists here today? No, it's probably a bit too Irish for them. They're probably down on Dame Street, holding every other flag, bar the one that they should be proud of. So hold on up, we are proud to be Irish. Speaking of the flags, I just want to give a shout out to Andy. I mean, he's done 15,000 flags over the last while, right? But behind every good man, there's a great mommy, right? And not many people know this. His mother irons every single flag. She's making sure there's not a crease in the movement, so will you give them a bit of a... I want to talk about the different types of
2,700.
into our country. Yeah, the economic migrants, the ones that are here to live the system. your man up in Letterkenny, buddy, you know, the bisexual fella, he, in my opinion, is an economic migrant. But in my opinion, some of these men will be soldiers. So we need to work together and get them out before they're on our streets. No excuses, no loopholes, no sob stories. They all have to go. Anyone that's come into this country in the last 5 years has to be fucked out back to where they came from. There's things happening every day, okay? There was an attempted abduction last Monday of 2 little girls in Mullingar. Mind your kids, don't take your eye off your children. It's up to every single one of us to make sure no child is abducted, killed, raped in this country. We have this job, lads, and we have to do it.
You know, it's a guy, he basically comes out and it's like, you know, in the ghetto in America, it's like, how'd you wife, how'd you kids, and they make everybody up in here. And they made like a remix set that into a song.
What's going on? These guys are not here for any benefit of me or you. There's been a disconnection in the country, and they did it during COVID. They locked it down, they isolated it, they broke families, they broke friendships. And when you're dumbed down and you're afraid, you're easier to control. And that's what they did then. And that's what they're trying to do now, okay? They are bringing all these men in here. They know they're creating chaos. And then they're going to hand us a solution, which will be the digital ID, digital currency, and total control. But you're not going to fall for it this time, because we're not going to let you fall for it. The team! You should be absolutely ashamed of yourselves. Not only are you letting the Eid Festival go on that land, not only did you look at treason for being escorted out of there for saying a Hail Mary, but you have all these migrants working as security up there. So if something happens in there, the book will stop with you. You shall be ashamed of yourself. Men of Ireland, I want to have a little word with you, all right? You need to catch yourselves on, lads, okay? You need to pull up your big white pants, because the country's got more in the last 4 years or so, all right?
You're not lads, you're not about to shout, so we haven't done anything yet.
When you go home, it's that wardrobe where you put away that big white pants about 10 years ago, because that's the option. You haven't had them on. And you're putting them on tomorrow morning, and you're not taking them off until we get this ugly Finally, I'd like to address the establishment. Because of you, our ancestors can fall and die for our freedom, and start from their resting place. You have been imprisoned in an invasion on our land. You have committed treason against the Irish people. You have mentally tortured us. You have used brutal force against us. But we're still here. And we're here because the passion we have for our country is more powerful than any force you will ever use against us. We're not going to stop until we get this country back and our ancestors can rest easy again.
Don't play around with
the
it. Take some interest. Very strong of her.
Against you.
Well done, Kira. Kira Mannion.
Look, it's a long day. Everybody's standing around and you don't want to keep your chairs too long. So if you would, Mary's going to sing Grace. I don't know if you know the words, but if you still, you might sing along.
Favorite song. Favorite song. No. Makes me cry.
Say hello to Bob Trotter here. We're live. We're definitely live, yeah. We're all follow him on YouTube, does some good stuff, guys. Me and him used to be out school buddies. Thanks, man. Yeah, we were school buddies and that. Bob Trotter, you won't forget that name. Easy one, John. Because I used to be slagged about it in England. The nickname they gave me. So I just thought I'd take it on board. Okay. Not in general. No, but it's allowed. You know, we don't ever beat them. Good to see you, Phil. How about you? It's frozen again. Let me know if it's frozen for everybody else.
I think about these past weeks. Oh, ladies, days, they have told us we must yearn for liberty. Now all I want is this something.
Oh, good. Thanks very much, folks. Keep sharing it out.
Always just so be in your arms and let this moment linger and take me out now, and I will die. Without my love, I place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, or we must say goodbye. Now I know it's hard for you, my love, to ever understand.
Okay. Eileen, thanks for that. Just in there, it comes back.
For these great men, my love for this dear land. But when already know me to inside, down in the GPO, I had to leave my own sick bed. To him I had to go. Oh, please just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out of town and I will die. With all my love, I place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, or we must say goodbye. Now as the dawn is breaking, my heart is breaking too. On this May morn, as I walk out, my thoughts will be of you. And I'll write some words upon the wall, so everyone will know I love so much that I could see his blood upon the road. Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out of dawn and I will die. With all my love, I place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, or we must say goodbye. No, there won't be time to share our love, or we must say goodbye.
Get them out!
folks.
Get them out! 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 Get them out!
So you didn't know the words. Look at, you won't keep it too much longer, but we have Stephen here and Suzanne Delaney here. Great work on this stuff.
Here's Stephen and Suzanne now, ready to speak.
Come on! My name is Stephen here, Suzanne Delaney, Stephen, online platform from the Irish Inquiry. Some of you will have seen we put out a video last week showing us going to be illegally kicked out of Cove Park. Why? Because we're not Muslim. There seems to be an issue with Christian Irish people there. What you didn't see on that video, however, is that at the same time that we were getting kicked out, Dr. or Mr. Umar Al-Kadri was standing on stage speaking about Ireland being the land of Kate Nina Bolsha. Land for 100,000 welcomes. Couldn't make it up. In case you didn't hear me there, what I said is, while we were getting kicked out of Cromer, Dr. Umar Al-Kadri was standing on stage speaking about Ireland in the land of Kate Bolsha. Couldn't make it up. He spoke of how welcoming Ireland has been, while at the same time protecting us on the sacred ground where Christians were massacred in the past. That video went viral. It got about 1 million views in less than 24 hours. But ever since then, social media platforms, at the behest of Thomas the man, no doubt, have clamped down on the Irish Inquiry, rendering us all but invisible and silent. But they can't silence us from this stage, can they? So, we're here today to say to you that we stand with you. We always stand with you. And we say to you, fly your flag.
Share the back again.
We say to reject the dehumanizing of Irish people being called mongrels, while everyone coming into this country prefers to be more Irish than us. We, as a native Irish people, this is our ancient motherland, and we will never stop fighting for our freedom. I'm going to pass over to Suzanne Delaney.
Put it down.
Given me the time to speak to you today, I really appreciate that. I don't know if you all heard that this week the American Social Unionist government decided that they automatically own everybody's organs. But I don't think I got the memo, because such like the crowd here today, our hearts belong to Ireland. So keep it free. And to those who call us mongrels, I'd like to extend an expression that we used to say when I grew up in Cordoba, Blanchardstown. Come over here and say that. I used to, walk along the city with my mother when I was a child, and I used to be able to live in the city as a child by myself. And now I don't come in here, not alone, and not with my child. And one thing many of you will remember about the living back there is that it's dead. And it doesn't sink anymore, but it's something that won't sink, and the thing up there is all air. I won't keep you much longer. I wrote something a couple of years ago, and some of you may have heard it before. For those of you who haven't, I feel like it's very, very relevant for today. This is called Open Corner.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if there's so many people using the internet in one place.
These prisoners don't care for the security of their nation, for background checks or the number regulations. They don't care for document traced, and they're those who can't be traced. They don't care for the typical fact that criminals amongst them did that. And there's those who will be keen to escape a criminal record for murder or rape.
Truth, yeah, thanks.
There is none in Fox Rock, Killiney or Deaford, but they'll accept your community Deaford. Church has the right to, when it's all intended, a crime in which they're aided and abetted by those who label you racist and far-right. With no real argument to solve their
Thanks for that feedback, folks. Rita.
And so, yeah, exactly. They care about the migration in the industry for free, and that it's never really about people in need. And even if it was about helping another, we can't help anyone if we're smart. They don't care that in Africa there's 1.4 million, and that we are a nation of only 5 million. They don't care that in Asia there's nearly 5 million more, but never mind that, just open the door. Save Europeans too we must take, accepting everyone is duty, not mistake. Most of Ukraine is not under attack, but if you ownership truth, accepting everyone flat. We must do our duty, we will be told, and so-called climate change will make that duty tenfold. They'll mock you for explaining your being mistakes, or for noticing Irish culture is being erased. Gaslighting and insult to Belgian folks. Be ashamed of your bigotry, you fascist state out. Race baiting justifying their resistance, and this is why they have such insistence that hate lies at the heart of our beautiful land. And free speech and protest, they too must be banned. They don't care that you worry for your child, whether sister or white, and they won't care so much for the rights of their life. They will endlessly ignore the reading and cautionary tales, crying diversity of their strength, open borders can't fail. But their assassins, truth be told, silencing others and the lie is solved. But their efforts are flavoring more each day, and we the people will not throw away. Our ancestors blood yield this generation, and we will never cry into this transgression.
Well done, Suzanne. Great stuff.
The last couple of speakers now. I'm going to introduce, probably don't know him, he's only getting into politics. His name is Gavin Pepper. And it's just a councillor, Gavin Pepper.
As Stretch would say, this is Dublin! I listen very loudly. We've had enough of vulture forms. We want to know. Man, cattle, pepper fighters, get out of Ireland! We want George Nolan gone! He's the biggest scumbag in the judicial system. Given suspended sentences for pedophile. Do you know how afraid we are in government at the moment? They're giving councillors 10 grand for security now. They're terrified of the Irish people. They're afraid of what we stand for. And that's why they're people to stand up and fight back against them. We are not going to put up with that anymore. It's time to look after the Irish people. We've had enough of it. Immigration has our country destroyed. It's not about being a welcome nation. It's about accepting the fact that Ireland is full. Yes! Now everybody in the world, we need to get them out. Get them out! 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 Right! This is a message to a few people, and I hope they're listening very clearly. Mick Clifford, anti-vaccinating, they're suffering, they're moving. Why are you not listening? Because you will be held accountable for what you did. Will your families, we will chase every penny that you are making from destroying their country. And that's all I'm going to back to the homeless Irish people that have been forgotten. There's no such thing as the working class anymore. It's the working poor. And they're pushing down on us left, right, centre. And when you speak up, they call your names. Are we going to listen to them names anymore? I give you this, right? And I'm going to change it to one from Michael Collins. What are they calling here? We've got something more powerful than the entire God, than the entire EU. And that's their refusal. Or refusal to let them take away our free speech. Our refusal to let them leave families in emergency accommodation and be forgotten about. Our refusal to get Nicola Fox be in a British prison when she should be on my head in Ireland. Tell the fire along there. I didn't hear you. And people like Greg Cow, who standing up for England and our government, people like Philip Boyle, people like Mark, loads of people that are standing up. They're not afraid anymore. There's nothing to be afraid anymore. Now let's go take our country back.
Gavin Pepper. Next man doesn't need a microphone at all. So let's get some voice.
Some great work for the community. He's a two-time Olympian, Councillor Philip Trusted. What did they say that the mothers didn't say, right? First of all, I want to thank everybody, mothers, fathers, children for coming in today to make this day special. Now, I can't say more than what the rest of us say. Only stick together as a country, stick together as a family. And we're all a family together. If we stay strong together, we stay strong always. God bless.
Great subject. So some amazing work around Crumlin there and training around that with the boxing community. Teaching young lads boxing, coaches coming together. And I've been at it for years and years. And the amount of young fellas that he's put in the right track.
Sorry.
Agreed. Money is their fixation, and they will gladly sell you and your families out to achieve more of it. This brings us to the rise of nationalism, which means a profound love for one's people and culture that exists on the left and right wings of politics. Nationalism has soared across Europe many times. It defended all of Europe from the Ottoman invasions, toppled monarchies, dismantled the Soviet Union, and for us ended British rule in Ireland. Though our numbers may be limited for now, our forefathers also shared our plight, but they persevered despite low support from their own fellow countrymen. They even faced distrust and were even sped upon. They fought on, often alone, and their unwavering resolve led to victory. Their courage inspires us to persevere for a future that honours our heritage and protects our nation. Today, however, we face grave challenges that threaten this legacy. We live in a world infected with corruption and ignorance, blind to the values that give strength to the West. The people of the West, not just the Irish, but those in the United Kingdom, France and beyond, are all in decline. It is a horrific truth. Our birth rate has fallen below replacement levels. We are burdened by massive debts we cannot pay back. And of course, mass immigration into Europe and Ireland is drastically changing our culture and landscape. Entire towns in Ireland, once wholly Irish, have been transformed overnight by the arrival of asylum seekers planted under the cover of dark and secrecy without the consent of the people. We, the taxpayers, are expected to pay for them, which seems almost indefinite, until the end of days. When citizens resist and speak out because deep down they know something is seriously wrong, they are branded as far right, a term that has lost all meaning and further deepens our sense and concerns of being ignored. Our young people, the children who are meant to replace all of you when you return to the earth, are forced to leave the Emerald Isle in search of homes and families on distant shores. If continued, this will lead to the end of the people in the future. We have lost the heart of Dublin city centre, where we now represent 30% or less of the population, and our people fear to walk its streets, which have become a cesspool of crime and sinister behaviour. Strangers walk its streets. When the British left Ireland, we were left with the English language alone, and we no longer hear that anymore. Many of you in this crowd are asking, why is this happening to our people? Why are our own politicians complicit? And the truth is, we no longer live in a true democracy. I'm not denying that the Republic exists or we don't hold free elections, but as long as Ireland remains in the European Union, our people will never truly be free. Just as our forefathers were spat upon by those that wish to remain under the British crown, we face similar resistance from those who bow to a new foreign power in Brussels. The EU is nothing more than a modern crown where unelected bureaucrats dictate to Ireland's daily affairs. Our elected officials in the Oireachtas are often threatened with fines and sanctions if they resist EU mandates, forcing our nation to bend the knee to policies that do not serve our people's interests. The European Parliament is riddled with corruption, its chambers often empty, its president absent despite repeated calls to attend, and its voting process